Hello, everybody, and welcome to the operations session for supporting field efficiency for the 2021 Petroleum GIS User Conference. My name is Adam Pittman, and I am excited to serve as your guide today as we walk through the operations session for the next 90 minutes. We are streaming live right now, and if some of you are having some streaming glitches, I do want to remind you that there is a settings option in the lower right corner of your viewing window. And if you're having some problems, you can go in there right now and change your setting to 720. And that should help out quite a bit with your stream. So I'll remind you here shortly again in a little bit. But we have some fantastic success stories to share with you today. And we're privileged to have three featured guests joining us. We have Ryan Rudzik of Tet Barnett, who's going to talk about how they are using some novel and innovative ways to have visualizations improve how they're running their operations. We have Tenson Rubling and Morgan Titus of Repsol, who will be joining us to talk about the rapid digitalization of operations out of Repsol. We also have Scott Newless from our natural resources team. Scott is a solution engineer, and he's going to be showcasing some new technologies that we feel are making a big impact in the operations space. And lastly, we have Casey Travenka and Carlos Sosa of Apache Corporation talking about how they are capitalizing on value-directed operations. We will be conducting an open question and answer session. I'm joined by all of our presenters right now. We're all on the meeting invite, and we are calling in from three of us in Houston, one in Fort Worth, and of course, Tenson and Morgan are in Calgary. So if you have questions along the way as they cover their presentations, please enter your question in the comment box. So here's a depiction on the right-hand corner of this slide that shows you where you should be seeing your ability to ask a question. It would be a big help to us if when you do ask your question, go ahead and type in the name of the presenter and then the question that you're asking. So for example, if you had a question for me, you might start with my name and then the question. That way, all the team that's moderating and helping us out, they can actually send the questions to us throughout the session. We're going to do our best to answer all of your questions live at the end of this session. So I'm joined, like I said, by all of our presenters. And please don't be shy, ask your questions. So as we get started, I'd like to kind of do a lead-in for what we're going to be talking about. You don't need me to tell you that it has been a difficult year for operations, a difficult year for working at home, where most of us are broadcasting live from. But I'd like to set the context for the trends that you're going to see in this presentation. There's some pretty exciting things that you're going to hear about. And one of the things I think you may understand is that oftentimes when you have difficult times, these tend to serve, at least from a technology perspective, as a catalyst for change. And that's absolutely a trend that you're going to see through all of the presentations today. Again, I do want to remind you, if the broadcast is coming across a little bit choppy for you, please go down to the settings window at the bottom right corner, and you can make an adjustment to 720 for the resolution, and that should help out significantly. So as we get into this, I'd like you to think about some ways in which we target efficient and safe operations. And like I said already, challenging times are certainly rapidly accelerating the digitalization of our operations so that we are operating not only more safely, but we're going to be more productive across the board. So when you think about those, you're oftentimes asked to fall within one of these four categories, if not all of them. So this is not anything new to you. So how do we help you hit the mark here? You're asked by your business and your business leaders to reduce risk for safety, health, environment, and risk to your business financially. You're also expected to do more with less in a reduced footprint. Of course, cost is there, maximizing your current investments so that you can operate as efficiently as possible. And last but certainly not least, it's increasing productivity, being as productive, if not more productive, with less resources. And of course, we always have ways that we can leverage technology to help us be more productive. These are the four themes that you're going to see today during our operations session. And you're going to hear from your peers in the industry how they are responding to this dynamic situation and how they are capitalizing in these four key areas to hit the mark. I think there's good news here. All of you that are joining us from around the world, we absolutely thank you for joining. And this is just the point of our gathering, is to bring GIS professionals in petroleum operations from around the world to discuss the challenges that we're facing and to understand how you, as the game changers, can make an impact across your business. And the great news is that as you look at this graphic here, you control that target. You can move the target and you can hit the mark with the general capabilities that you have available. In fact, the capabilities that you're well aware and have been doing for quite a while. You have amazing capabilities and tools to integrate your systems of records so that you can use your valuable information and better manage the data that you have at your hand. And today, we have more data available than ever before. Let's not forget cartography and the mapping capabilities. It's easy to overlook what you may think is simple, but we're going to see a great story here in a bit on how mapping and cartography can make a huge impact to how your business operates. Of course, spatial analysis, that's our bread and butter. Now we're incorporating some really amazing technology with data science and open science platforms to leverage and integrate even more than we have ever had before. Imagery and remote sensing has been a huge advantage to us, and the capabilities with imagery and remote sensing are advancing weekly. And it's something that we spend quite a bit of time working with all of you on. Real-time visualization, we'll see some examples of that today, but being able to ingest your sensor information, not only for visualization, but for real-time analysis. It's possible and it's easier than you think today. And then lastly, using configurable applications to rapidly deploy digital solutions into fields. Many of you still have, and your operations and businesses are still operating with paper-driven workflows. There's a rapid shift now for digitalization, and that is a movement that we are seeing like never before. Again, you'll see examples of that here shortly. One of the trends that we're seeing is that the petroleum industry is very interested in leveraging the best-in-class scenarios from other industries. For example, let's take a look at transportation management and analytics. We are now connecting our petroleum customers with customers that do this for their primary business revenue, right? Meeting with the folks that do logistics and logistics operation on a daily basis and learning from them how best to apply workflows and translate those into the things that we do in the petroleum industry every day. Some of those might be looking at real-time information, doing analysis and understanding the driving patterns of your field operations crews to reduce accidents, to improve efficiencies. Looking at operations and how folks move around the field is something that is happening on a daily basis. We're also taking a look at what the great work from our architectural, engineering, and construction firms. Many of the things that you see from that AEC space are starting to fill the foundation of what you all are working on as digital twin efforts. Understanding how to model CAD and engineering diagrams, incorporate real-time information, and visualize with reality capture your operations so that you can operate more effectively and efficiently. This is happening right now. And there's some exciting technologies that are advancing on the Esri front that are going to help with this. And you're going to see this pattern grow and grow and grow. Also, the work that's happening with our public safety and national security customers. The great work that they are doing is finding its way into helping you improve your operations across the globe and help you make your operations safer as you understand with greater awareness how other impacts can impact your operations. And lastly, our work with imagery and remote sensing is significant, and we are seeing cross-industry efforts and best practices now bleed and work their way into the petroleum space, specifically in the natural resources space with agriculture and forestry. And some of the practices that they're doing there actually finding their way into petroleum workflows to help with detection, automation, capturing features from imagery, and doing all sorts of remote sensing efforts and boundary mapping. So, very interesting work that's happening with imagery and remote sensing. You're doing these things, and you, as GIS professionals, are providing this process and this framework for applying all the things that you know and are trained to do. And you're actually working through measurement, data management, visualization and mapping, analysis and modeling, and planning and design. And you're doing those four key things, which you're going to hear about today, all to make better decisions faster so that your business leaders can take action and actually make decisions that are going to impact and help you and your operations operate safely and more effectively.